In this video, we'll talk about third-party CSS library, how we can load the external CSS library into our Lightning Web component. So in our previous CSS section, we already covered inline styling, external CSS, Lightning Design System, Design Token, Shared CSS in LWC and Dynamic Styling. So third-party CSS was missing, so now we're gonna work on that. So to load the third-party CSS, the fundamental is same as we have done for the JS file. So first you need to upload your external CSS to static resource. Then you have to import that reference to your LWC component. Then here we need another method, that is load style. Earlier we were using the load script in JavaScript. So this time we're gonna use load style. It's gonna import from the same path, Lightning Platform Resource Loader. And this is also a asynchronous approach, and this method also will return the promise. So let's go back to our VS Code and see how we can load the style sheet. So I'm in my JS file, and before writing anything, I'm using the same component. This time I'm not creating another component. I'm using the same component that we have used for our previous video, that is loading the JavaScript third-party library. There is a reason for using the same component. I'll explain you in a minute. So first we need a CSS library to which we can load. So let's go to our org and go to the static resources. I'll go to static resource. This CSS library can be anything, like it can be Bootstrap, Material UI, Animate.css. So I already downloaded the CSS file. You can get this in the videos resource folder. So I'll say this name Animate, and I'll choose the file, that is Animate, and I'll load this. And before using this, I'll show you what is animate.css. So just type animate.css in the Google, and the first link you click. Now you will see how you can give the animation to your text. On the right hand side, all the animation types are there, like bounce, flash, pulse, shake, x-axis, y-axis, swing, any CSS you can use. So I downloaded already this library, and this is a CDN. You can download from this CDN as well, but for you guys I already downloaded and it's in the resource section, so you can use the same library. Now we have uploaded it into the static resources, so let's go to our component and import this from the static resources. The approach is same. I'll say import animate. This is my alias for that library. It will be from salesforce/resource URL / folder name, that is animate, and it also follows the same pattern that I can show you quickly. It follows the same pattern, like animate is a zip folder, under that there is an animate folder, and there it's animate.min.css. so we gonna use that. Now I want to load another file, right? So that the first, earlier we were loading the script file. There are two ways I can go with. I'll first import the load style, and then I'll just write load style and copy paste this. Separately I'll load the style, and separately I'll load the script. I'll say I want to load animate. That comes from an animate folder, and the file name is animate.min.css, and here we'll say loaded successfully something. But the problem here is we are doing two asynchronous operation, right? And we are telling to our render callback, once it's completed, just make this variable true, and this variable can be true anytime. And if both library are dependent to each other, this will not work out because we are just running both independently. If you want to perform an operation once all the libraries gets uploaded, then we're gonna use the promise all that I explained you in the previous video. So here we're gonna say I want all the promises, all the promises that's mentioned in the array format. Once complete, then perform the then method. Okay, and what all promises we are doing here? Always load CSS first. I'm saying first load the CSS, then load your JS, and once both are uploaded or like complete their operation, then call the set date screen method. It will be remain same. I'll say after this you can make is lib loaded variable true and remove this. And now we are running both the promises together, right? So promise dot all make sure both the asynchronous operation complete their task and then come to the then block. Okay, so now once the animate operation load or animate library loaded, I want to show something on the screen to make sure that my library is working fine. So I'll just copy paste this lightning card and say third party CSS demo, and I'll say some text here. Hooray, I am enjoying this session. Okay, so this is my task and this is my text, and I want this text to be animated in form. So I'll go to my animate.css and I'll pick up any class. So I'll pick up this class animate underscore underscore animated. This should always be there, and the second class is there just to tell you what type of animation I want. I'm looking for bounce, so we can add that here. We'll come to our p tag and say class and run this classes animate animated and animate bounce. So when the page load, our text should bounce. Okay, so let's deploy this quickly and see whether it's working or not. So likewise you can do for bootstrap as well. The same library you replace with the bootstrap library, the bootstrap will work in your component. Okay, so let's go back to our org and now refresh the page. We need to look into the bottom part. See, now it's jumping, this text is jumping. We can add the delay as well because it's pretty quick, because our refresh and page load is pretty quick. So I can add some delay here using the animate underscore underscore delay hyphen 2 seconds. So it will jump the text after 2 seconds. I can make it 5 seconds so that we can able to at least visualize. So I'm deploying it again quickly. Now it's deployed. Let me refresh this A, and now you can see here after 5 seconds it will start jumping. Now you see, so this is how you use a third-party CSS, and here we are using animate. You can play around other classes. You can copy the class name from here, like we have used bounce. You can use any CSS or any animation that you want. From here you just copy the class name and paste it there. And to demonstrate you like when we have to use the promise dot all, that's why I've used the same component where we are loading now CSS as well as JS together. Okay, so our JS is also working and it's printing the latest timestamp here from the movement.js. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video.